Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Chakadash, the ones that apostles of great millstone that rule well, and Shalom to brothers in the highways and byways doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continuing fighting that good fight of faith. Lord willing, we are found in that number to be delivered. All right, and likewise for some of you sisters out there who truly trust and believe in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, may you be found worthy as well. All right, so we're just going to get right into it on this lesson. I'm going to start with the book of Romans, the 13th chapter and the 11th verse. And it says, "And that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe." All right. This is a very important scripture, as well as 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, because both of them speak about time. All right. Knowing the time, and 2nd Ezra 9 says measuring the time. This is very, very important, because this will then give you a gauge as to what's happening in the world and with the scriptures and through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You see? So for it is written, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe. Excuse me. So concerning our salvation, what are we seeking salvation for? And what are we seeking it from? Okay? The nuclear destruction that's coming to this place, the war that's going to be, that is really readily upon us, if you will. Isn't it not written? Woe, the third woe cometh quickly. And with that third world's war is going to usher in the thermonuclear destruction. All right? So from there, I want to go to, let me go here. Isaiah 54:16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy." All right. Now, I personally believe that the main smith that has brought forth this instrument, all right, is this man here, Vernon Von Braun. All right. And the things that he did and how he's got it done fits right along with what we're talking about. Okay. So let's listen, read a little bit about Mr. Vernon Von Braun. Vernon Magnus Maximilian Freiherr von Braun, 23 of March 1912 to 16 June 1977, was a German-American aerospace engineer and a space architect. He was the leading figure in the development of the rocket technology in Nazi Germany, and a pioneer of rocket and space technology in the United States. All right. So he became that pioneer over here. Why? Because he showed these devils, these Edomites over here, how to critique and master the art of launching a rocket, a fuel-propelled rocket. Okay, which ultimately led to the craftiness of thermonuclear missiles. All right. More interestingly, scrolling down to his death, and I'm gonna get right to the point. I'll say it's the second paragraph. It says, Von Braun died on 16 June 1977 of pancreatic cancer in Alexandria, Virginia, at the age of 65. He is buried on Valley Road at the Ivy Hill Cemetery. Here's the point. His gravestone cites Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Cool. King James Version. All right. Now, we understand and read that as one of the gateway scriptures of what the Lord has done for us to push this word throughout the world, the internet. All right. So, to me, like I said, I believe this man right here was one of the key figures that the Lord has set up, all right, in these last days to bring forth this instrument of destruction. You know, what he has done with the rocket technology. Now, here it is 2022, you know, with the technology, you know, the advancement of technology, you know, they pretty much mastered, you know, exactly what needed to be done. And the Lord gave them the ability to do that. So these missiles can be launched and reach to other ends of the world. All right. So from there, let's get a little bit about these missiles here.
Making a nuclear bomb is a complex process. The first challenge is getting hold of the radioactive raw material required. Uranium is one option. Commercially available, it also occurs naturally. However, it's made up of two isotopes. 99.3% is uranium-238 and 0.7% is uranium-235. Only the latter is used to produce nuclear energy. To separate the two, centrifuges are used. The heavier U-238 is discarded and the lighter U-235 is re-injected into the next centrifuge. Many centrifuges are needed to obtain a significant amount of usable uranium-235. To generate power, uranium is enriched only to 5%. To make a nuclear bomb, it must be enriched to at least 90%. Plutonium-239 is a second option. It's produced with uranium in nuclear power reactors. The uranium is separated off and the plutonium extracted. It takes some 25 kilograms of uranium-235 or 8 kilograms of plutonium-239 to make a nuclear bomb. The final challenge is actually building a device with a detonating system and explosives capable of triggering the required nuclear fission chain reaction.
All right. So there you have the making of a nuclear missile. You know, you got uranium, plutonium, and these are things that these scientists have come together to understand and give life, you know, so that these thermonuclear missiles can be created. And that's once again through the Spirit of the Lord and the wisdom of the Lord that he imparted unto Esau. All right. So with that, I want to show a couple diagrams real quick. Let me go here first. Let me go here. All right. So see in this picture, it's showing different stages, as you see up the top here, different stages of a nuclear missile, right? And each stage, certain things happen, you know, and the propelling system that launches the missile, as we're going to read in Joel, a fire burneth, you know, behind them. That's that rocket propelling, you know, system that Vernon Von Braun has pretty much mastered and taught Esau over here on this side of the world. All right, and you got the shroud jettison, which is the cap that goes over the thermonuclear warhead, which you see at the top here, the little red needle. All right, that's the nuclear warhead, and that shroud is what covers it or protects it, if you will. So from that diagram, I want to go to another diagram, which is going to make it look a little better understanding, give you better understanding. All right. So here you have, once again, you have your stages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're used in this diagram, but it's a 3-part stage propelling system, A, B, and C on the left-hand side. But more importantly, you see the jettison of the cap falling off. But let's zoom in a little bit, okay? Once that shroud pops off, what do you see? Thermonuclear missiles, the warheads, all right? And this is what's going to ultimately destroy the land before it, all right? So even though you have one nuclear missile itself, you have, just counting from the diagram here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you know, roughly 12 nuclear warheads on that one warhead, if you will. All right. And that's just one nuclear missile. So the amount of damage that one nuclear missile itself can cause is way beyond catastrophic, man. And the amount of missiles that are going to hit this place, and this is how you know, as the scriptures say, in 1 hour, this place is going to be laid desolate, man. But once again, thanks to Yahweh Shai for creating these smiths that blew off the coal and the fire that brought forth the instrument for his destruction, man. And this is what's going to ultimately lead to our salvation, man. When these rockets start to get launched throughout the whole world, then Yahweh Shai is going to come with that chariot and beam us up. So when the scriptures tell us our salvation is nearer than what we believe, then you must understand, knowing the time, that it's almost time for Babylon to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. Okay? Now, just a little more information concerning the nuclear warhead, each rocket or each missile that's in the warhead. It says modern nuclear weapons work by combining chemical explosives, nuclear fission, and nuclear fusion. The explosives compress nuclear materials, causing fission. The fission releases massive amounts of energy in the form of X-rays, which create high temperatures and pressure needed to ignite the fusion. Okay? So what these scientists have done, they have critiqued, which was a marvelous thing. And it, once again, is all through the Spirit of the Lord, and the Lord's showing his handiwork through these devils as well. But they have, wonderfully mastered the art of, fusion of chemical explosives. And this is what's ultimately going to destroy them. Their own creation is going to destroy them. All right? So the amount of missiles that are going to get launched from each country, all right, there's going to be a lot of destruction. And this is why the scriptures say the earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunkard when all these missiles start smashing this place. So we're coming around that corner, man. We're coming around that corner where the time is right. The time is nigh. Prepare yourselves. We're pretty much screaming, the bridegroom is coming. Make yourself ready. Be ready. So with all that being said, now who's going to do it, man? Who's going to do all these things? These other nations. These nations are going to, launch these rockets. They're going to launch these missiles. And any nation that doesn't have that nuclear capability, they're going to use some type of military force or might, to fight the troops that get sent over there in their immediate area. So every nation is going to have a hand in the destruction or the fall of Babylon the Great, directly or indirectly. They're going to have a hand in it, man. All right, Joel 2, as I stated earlier, it says, "A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, nothing shall escape them." All right, so let's go back to the image. I'll use this one here. All right. So as you see that rocket over on the left-hand side starting to launch off, you see that flame burning at the bottom of it? That's the flame that burneth behind them. All right. And the land is all pretty and beautiful before they hit the place. So these things were written over 2,000 years ago. And now they're coming to pass in this lifetime that we're living. This is the appointed time, man. We're living in the appointed time of Babylon being destroyed. In the book of Matthew, it states there are many prophets and great men that desire to see the things we now see and know the things that we now know, man. Roughly paraphrasing. And now we're seeing it. Now we're seeing the images. The prophets of old, the Lord put the Spirit on them to witness it in the Spirit. All right? But even then at the time, some of them couldn't comprehend exactly what was going on. But we here now, we've been given the ability to see it unfold. You know, we pretty much watch this thing step by step. All right? How it works. The intercontinental ballistic missile. Okay? And this thing gives you a little understanding of bombs, smart bombs, torpedoes, rockets, and missiles. And the difference is a bomb, as you read here, it says it's unpowered, unguided. So a bomb just drops straight out of the sky, from a plane or a B stealth bomb or whatever. All right. A smart bomb is unpowered but guided. Now, when we speak of guided, let me go back. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find it. When we speak of guided, let me see. I know I saw a picture of it. Yes, here it is. All right. So when you speak of guided, all right, if you look at the picture, the yellow rocket on the left, it's giving you the same, type of system, but it now shows you the satellite. All right. This is how it's guided. These are guided missiles where there's a positioning, gyro or positioning sensor that's going to lock in and not deviate from its course. All right. That's what a guided missile is. Now, intercontinental ballistic missile is a guided missile. All right. And that being said, let me go back. Let me open this up. Here we go here. All right, let me read here. Verse 3, it says, a fire devoureth before them, and a flame burneth. Behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses and horsemen, and so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of the mountain shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their faces the people shall be much pained, all faces shall be gathered blackness. They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the walls like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. That's the point. They shall not break their ranks. Why? Because these missiles, where are we here? Where are we here? Here we go. Where are we here? Oh, snap. Did I lose it? Oh, damn, I may have lost it. There you go. You see, these missiles here are guided missiles. So they're not going to break their ranks. Once these coordinates are locked in, that's it. They're not going to go zipping around and just doing their own thing. This is what you call a guided missile. And it's guided by the electrical, or if you will, or satellites, if you will, or computer, however you want to classify it. All right. So that is a guided missile. Going back. Okay. A torpedo. It says powered, travels through water. Smart bomb, unpowered, guided. A rocket, powered, unguided. And it says a missile, powered, guided. All right. So these thermonuclear missiles, they're going to be guided. And as you see, It tells you the distance of each type of rocket. All right, starting at the bottom, the ICBM missile, it travels greater than 3,418 miles, or 550 kilometers. All right, so that's pretty much the longest distance that they're going to travel. And this was, I mean, it doesn't give a date when this was put together, but I'm pretty sure at this point in time, in this day and age, with the technology, those numbers are much more greater, travel distance wise. All right. So going back, where are we here? Going back to the understanding of what these things are all about, and how, you know, this pertains to our salvation. You know, let me get this here. Let me get Isaiah 14:10. It says, all they that speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Now, these nations can use this as the term of speaking to America, or Babylon, if you will. Now, has America become weak? No, it hasn't. You know, they've steadily gained technology. They steadily gained military might. It's just that these other nations have now also gained that ability to use military might, you know, nuclear power and fusion and all that other stuff, scientists and so on and so forth. All right. So, but these nations are now saying, oh, wait a minute. Are you like unto us now? So basically, America, who would call these other nations weak, and these nations say, oh, we got the same thing you have. So if we're weak, then you're weak. All right. But this is gearing up. This is gearing up for the fall. This is gearing up for the destruction. That third woe. All right. Joel 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. All right. And the weak is now saying these things. The weak are now being strong. And not only are they being strong, they know they have these bigger nations, you know, at their beck and call, if you will. So the time is at hand, man. The appointed time that has been set, you know, and I'm talking in terms of, you know, all the clues and all the signs that we have been told to made aware of, man. All right, these things are now here. And going back to Romans, the 13th chapter, speaking about knowing the time, you know, all the pieces of the puzzle are now on the table. Now they're just being strategically put back into its right proper place. And then shall the end come, man. You know, there's no more pieces in the box, if you will. You know, people do those jigsaw pieces. They'll grab a handful of pieces and put them on the table and, you know, work with what they have, and grab some more pieces and put them on the table and work with what they have. All right. All the pieces are on the table, man. We know what's to come. All right. We know there's going to be famines. We know there's going to be much pestilence. We know there's going to be much, you know, uprising of the people. We know there's, you know, kingdom against kingdom, a nation against a nation. We know that there's division and separation within nations. You know, scriptures speak about if Satan be divided against Satan, how can his kingdom stand? All right. We know that a nation of people have now being, you know, brought back to life, if you will, from being known as just, you know, bywords of the earth. All right. We know that the kings of the earth are now, you know, settling up with one another, shaking hands, if you will, exchanging plans, if you will. All right. We know that the prophecies are now unfolding on a daily basis. So all the pieces of the puzzle are on the table, man. There's nothing left in the box. That's all on the table. It's ready to go. And once Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, strategically puts these last pieces in their proper place, and that's it, man. That's it. Babylon the Great is finished, man. So our salvation is close, brothers. We here. We got to keep on pushing. And this is going to be the ultimate goal. Psalms 91, this whole chapter is a good chapter to read, but I'm going to go right to the point. Psalms 91:8. It says, only with thy eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. All right? When John the Revelator spoke about the lake of fire, all right, this is what he was talking about. All right? Us being able to see that reward of the wicked is going to be a beautiful thing, man. And a fearsome thing at that. To know such power and such destruction is going to happen in such a little time, man. That's going to be a sight to behold, man. But with holding fast in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we hasten this thing, man. We want this thing to come. We need this thing to come. All right. So I believe that's pretty much it on what we have, jotted down for the lesson. And may the Lord have woken some brothers, gave some brothers some edification on the few scriptures we brought out, some of the illustrations we brought out concerning fission and fusion, all right, concerning guided and unguided, concerning the ability to for a nuclear warhead to hold many different missiles, so when they are dropped upon the earth, it's not just one missile coming out of not just one missile hitting the earth, but one so-called projectile cylinder, releasing several nuclear warheads to drop upon the land. All right. So Lord willing, I'll see you brothers in another show. I say shalom.